Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a Pry House public match for you. But before we get into this, thank you to our YouTube members for the support. If you'd like the support, go beneath the video, hit the join button, and if you join us, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. So it is March 25th at about 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time right now. In balance is 190. At the end of last round, it was 230-ish, so we'll get back up to there eventually, but I always think it's neat to watch the smaller matches because this is what we see most of the time in War of Rights, and the strategy is different based on the server pop. So our officers for today, CSA side, you have Noodle, you have My Name Ryder, you have Newberry, no one on the 4th Company, and then for the artillery for CSA, you got Legendary. Union side, you have Simple Joe, J Money, Casablanca, and Skynet. For the artillery, though, you have Big Mac. So with that being said, co-commentating with me today, we have Ironheart. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, if you guys don't know me, I'm officially known as Ironheart, but now I'm known as Iron Wolf. I am the current 2nd Lieutenant of 7th Texas. If you ever want to catch me, my name is Iron Wolf. If you ever want to contact me about anything or just talk, my name is Iron Wolf. That's all you need to know.
And we're glad you're here. So in your opinion, how should each side try to play Pry House, especially on a smaller pot?
Pull back now, pull back now. Back it up, back it up.
I think the CSA strat, mainly, it's like, I would more than likely condense the middle, but I would focus more on the right flank side. If I was a CSA, it's easy open ground and cover for you. You can easily another thing you can also do for CSA is playing aggressive. Definitely play aggressive on this map. It's a very short map, and it's like if you're the CSA and you get aggressive right on point and whatever, it'll force the Union to not turtle back and just shoot it out with you. So it's more like if you get the ground on them, that makes them lose the point, and then they have to recap that. Then it's like they can't sit there and they have to try and recap that back. So I think CSA obviously should condense together to middle, kind of like they are right now, and they should honestly make a push for point to try and early cap it, and then just shoot it out with them from there. That's what I think they do.
Yeah, I agree entirely with that. If you look at the Union defensive line right now, especially on the Union right, they're all kind of in this little defilade, and these defilades kind of span across the whole width of the map, even on the Union left side where they don't have a lot of guys. But they have these defilades, and they're great spots. Generally, in the past, when I've seen shootouts on this map, the Union will win the shootout, which I don't know why, but that seems to happen. Maybe that might change with the accuracy increase for the weapons in this game, but of course, time will tell with that. But Pry House, it's a 17% ticket advantage to the CSA side. Weapons on this map, the CSA attacking side, they have the 8th Alabama with the Enfield and Springfield 55, and they also have the 8th Florida with the Springfield 42, so they got buck and ball, basically a shotgun. You have Enfield and the Springfield 55. Union, on the other hand, has the 5th New York with the Springfield 61 and the Sharps carbine. I think that's just for NCOs maybe. And then the 20th Maine is also on Union side with the Enfield. So
yeah, I think buck and ball is kind of useless right now at this point, because with that recent update, they nerfed it even more. It's like it doesn't even do as much damage unless you're within 30 yards of them.
Yep, 33.
But it's hell, when you look at most engagements, within the fight, whichever map it is, when you go to a drill camp, it's that little fence post on the range, if you go all the way back to the 3rd set of targets, which is the set of 3 that are the 3 furthest back, but not the second 3 furthest back, actually, that's the typical engagement of range that all the fighting is usually going to occur. Buck and ball is before the last update, it was barely even hitting that. It's more buck and ball is useful for the second set of targets and the first set of targets, which are 20 to 40. I think the second set of targets is more 40 yards, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
But it's after that, buck and ball is useless after that. But considering that they nerfed it even worse, it's almost I wouldn't even grab the 42s anymore. It's a worthless gun right now. I mean, yeah, you can shoot round ball, but it's after you shoot 20 rounds, it's now you gotta shoot buck and ball. And it's if you're going to shoot bucking ball, you better be willing to take a bullet to the face because you're going to have to fight at least like no longer than like 40 yards together just to even like have the bucking ball even be worthwhile.
Yeah, I don't know how spread out the bucket ball shots on it. Based on what you're saying, it seems they're pretty spread out. But I've always loved the 42. I probably have to play with it a little bit, but it still seems like it'd be good because even though the drop off is kind of big, like even if you wound someone, if you do get in a melee with them, they're one stab versus having their full health. So I still think there's a lot of upside to it, but I guess it's personal preference. Actually, that is the cool thing though, is that at least for me in the past, especially before this update, it was like if you have the option of the Springfield 42 or something else, you should probably pick the Springfield 42 because buck and ball's crazy OP. But now with the update, you know, there's more argument and there's a little more strategy going into your choice, and so I think it's a pretty cool part of the update.
Okay, I kind of like what CSA is currently doing on the right side with Noodle and let's see, is that Baron?
Yep.
I like how they finally decided to move up, that they were going to cap point, but it's like the other half of the team was just sitting back. I was like, I think you got to communicate that, because if you're going to move the point, you're going to need the whole team on point, because if you early cap point and Union comes down and then crashes you on point, you're going to get wiped.
Yeah, it looks like CSA... Yeah, it's a little confusing, because... I mean, the CSA can't push up too far forward in this CSA left field, which now they're pushing up. I mean, I guess they have a little defilade they could go up to, like, forward from where they are right now. But, yeah, no, the whole CSA team, if they want a cap point, they need their team up there. You don't want Union to instantly retake that point. Because if Union's down on tickets, they'll be able to regain tickets. And also, you want a long engagement during the counterattack.
Yeah, I kind of like how CSA is already currently pushed up on the right flank right here. They took this big giant deflate that usually on the other side Union would usually have it. But it is a good thing that they pushed up to take this deflate, so that way, either way, that if the Union does end up wrapping around the left to try to retake this back, they'll be right there to meet them. But it's also a good thing that CSA did end up capping point, but if it is another thing, the company in the back here, which is Ryder, well, never mind, as soon as I speak, that Ryder's actually moving his company up forward to meet them on point, which is actually a good thing, is what he needs to do, because they're obviously going to charge point here pretty soon.
Yep, so I like the CSA moving up. I think it's a good idea. Union is somewhat starting to move closer. Ryder's got great shots now that he's moved up. A lot of misses, though, with the shots.
Down the fence line.
More if I was Newberry right now with his company, I would like pull it back in line with Riders on the same side. Not on like his side, but in line with him. Since it's like you already capped the point, you don't need to stand directly on it. It's like I would stand behind it, but like create a defense perimeter there and keep the flag in the back so that way it doesn't get shot. But I do like they do have supporting fire from the other two, or at least one company. Well, actually, no, it is two because there's two flags there. I like the other supporting fire from the right flank. It's like shooting them directly in the middle. But then again, most of the Union side is on their right flank, aka on the other side of the fence from where they're shooting at on the CSA right flank. So
I am a little surprised Union hasn't charged in yet. Which, okay, there they go. It always goes like that, doesn't it?
Alright, we're on the cap area. Spread out, spread out, spread out.
And usually, if it's like, if you're playing the far right defilade at CSA right now and Union's charging point, it's like, get off that defilade and get on the point.
Exactly.
It's like, especially if you capped it.
Yeah, but it's a great pinching idea. I don't know what I mean, they're shooting at Union, who have a stone wall, which aren't easy shots, even with the accuracy update. But Union's currently taking the point back, but...
Charging. Aim low, aim low, aim
Yeah, the more like CSA just pulled off of it a little bit because they didn't want to get... Because it's more like they didn't want to get killed, but, I mean... You gotta hold the point if you want to like stop, because if you stop the clock as the attacker, it's actually a good thing, because it's like if they recap the point, then it goes back to the regular game clock and whatever. And it's like on Pry House, it's like you want to win the map, you gotta play aggressive, otherwise it's like you're gonna have to play the clock. Which usually playing the clock as the attacker is not a good idea ever on any map whatsoever.
Yeah, I wonder how much the accuracy update has affected that, because before it was all kind of luck-based with shooting, and you never saw a sit and shoot strategy work. You always had to charge. Now you might be able to shoot down your opponent. I saw in Roulette CSA was kind of able to do it, but they lost in some bad charges at the beginning. So
Yeah, it was like after like the new update. When that new update dropped, it was that day we all went into the drill camp to test the guns, and I'm not even kidding you. I hit like almost every damn near shot from 600 yards on the 4 set of targets.
The guns were 100% accurate.
Yeah, it was like a straight. It's almost like they were just lasers, or it's like hell. If you're even using aimbot, it's like nobody's gonna be able to tell that you're using aimbot because the gun's 100% accurate because wherever your sight was pointed, that's where it was going.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Good thing
And
they...
and it's like before they even had like bullet rise in this game, and hell, with that new update, there was no bullet rise or bullet drop. It was just a dead straight missile.
Yeah, good thing they fixed it to what it was intended to actually be.
Is that their cannon?
Yeah, I think the skirmishing, it's like, yeah, there might be more kills in a shootout, but it's like, really the big thing that really got everybody was they decreased the bullet spread by 60%, which that was insane, honestly. It's like, yay, your gun's more accurate when you, or at least, yay, my bullet's not gonna like jerk off all the way to like row Z in the sky, or hey, look, it's gonna go up to a star, or oh, look, it's gonna hit the mole in the ground or something. Nope, it's more than likely gonna be on target most of the time.
Right.
Without it like sprousing random directions or whatever. So, I mean, yay for that if you're a sharpshooter. But infantry, I don't know if you'd be happy about that with you getting killed more likely.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Union is starting to retake the point. Both sides aren't engaged. I mean, also the thing is too, right? CSA has a slight ticket lead right now, but the moment Union retakes, Union will go up to the percentage of tickets that CSA is at, so Union will regain some tickets out of this. If I'm CSA, again, you want to keep the counterattack going, because everyone's going to be losing tickets. The black timer's not going to be moving down, as Ironheart mentioned. But also, Union's going to regain some tickets here. Why don't you just charge in and lose some tickets so that Union can't regain as much? Another point.
Yeah, and CSA's actually charging on her left flank here, right in Noodle and Baron right here, which that's a small company charge. That's just wasteful tickets. But then again, they did recap the point, but they're going to lose a lot of tickets there quickly because some of those are out of line. If I'm CSA right now, see, look, Union's already trying to pull back off the point. I'm CSA, recap the point.
Yep.
Make them come to you, because you don't ever want to just let Union sit back and shoot you out, because more than likely they'll end up winning that.
Exactly.
So the thing is cap the point, and then once you cap the point, you can pull back a little bit to use that little death flag cover behind the point for CSA. Yeah, that's what I would always suggest.
There is a few instances where early capping cannot be a great idea. I think it's a good thing to use in a lot of places, but if you're attacking and you're up by a lot of tickets with a lot of time left, there's no need to cap the point because you don't want to risk the defenders regaining a bunch of tickets. Also, when it's like each side is halfway through taking losses, if they're kind of even by that point, don't early cap then, because the defenders, the original defenders, which in this map would be Union, right? Let's say CSA cap, both sides are at a low taking losses, and Union, as a defender, is now considered the attackers because they're trying to retake the point. They could push the CSA, who is now considered the defending team, the last stand and retake the point and win. So, CSA, I like that they're capping again, just as Ironheart mentioned, but I wonder how many more times they're going to do it. I guess we'll see how far the tickets go down.
Technically now it's Iron Wolf. Now it's not Ironheart anymore, man. So, don't worry. It's going to take people like a couple of weeks to get used to me changing my name from Ironheart to Iron Wolf. So, which there is a reason why I did, but I'm not really going to get into that. It's a personal reason why I did.
So CSA capped the point. The Union is now moving in again. CSA still sitting on the point. They've got 3 flags in one tiny spot, which one of the flags just hopped into the road and got shot instantly.
Yeah, it looks like Noodle's getting pincered right here, which he need obviously. Let me see who's back here on the CSA left. I think it's Ryder. If I'm Ryder, I would send it to point and like wipe that Union left to at least like give his allies like Noodle some assistance, because right now Noodle and Baron are getting pincered right now, like fired from 2 different angles. They're getting fired from across the road on the other side of the stone wall, and then they're also getting fired from the Death Blade spot, which I don't know who's over there, J-Money and Skynet, but even though it's like a small force over there, you're still getting double fire, you're still getting double volleyed from 2 different angles, which is not good.
Man,
So obviously,
SPR.
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it looks, as you
Well,
mentioned...
at least they're still holding it in the middle. I'm surprised that they are, because if I was like J-Money or Skynet right over here, I would definitely like wrap around them a little bit more to the side and start shooting them dead on their side, almost like from east to west. That's what I'd do, but
I like that charge a lot, because you mentioned, right, they were getting hit from 2 different angles.
yeah.
And so,
Yeah,
in War of Rights, if you know each side is a similar player count on each side, and if you're surrounded by your opponent, you know that they have the same overall numbers as you, and if they're spread out, that means they're very thin. So then you punch out on one side.
As soon as you ended up saying charge, Ryder then ended up pushing up his line to where he should have been, but like a minute before. But then again, it was a right for him to do that, so that way he could push his Union force back and like force him off the point, so that way they can hold it. But yes, this is exactly what CSA should be doing. It's playing aggressive on the point, make Union come to point, and just shoot them the hell out. That's exactly what CSA should do on this map. 100%. If you're Union, you're more than likely going to have to coordinate together exactly when charge point and how to charge point. Normally what I would technically do is like if I was Union right now, I would have like 2 companies hit from like probably the left side, considering CSA's all massed on the Union's right. So I would definitely take like 2 Union companies, hit them from the left, and then send 2 Unions up the middle, or at least down the road, if not the other side of the wall, and hit them. Which it looks like Union's trying to do that, but I don't think it's that well coordinated. Or maybe it's just one solo company.
Yeah, I don't get why half the Union team went up, died, and now the other half of the team moves up and they're getting shot to crap. Now the original half is starting to inch forward. Also just saw a Union officer try to use a scope on a flag, and he spent 10 seconds aiming and then got shot. It's kind of funny.
They want us to push while they're not pushing.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
9 minutes left on the counterattack timer. Union's taking losses, which their morale stage doesn't really matter, because if they retake, they're going to go up to the percentage of tickets that CSA is at. So Union tickets don't matter as much compared to CSA, since the Union team is down.
Yeah, if I'm CSA, keep the pressure. That's all I need to say, is just keep the pressure up on them. Because, I mean, it's not like... This was weeks ago, and we did this in Smoke and Steel. It's like, we grabbed our full kits, rallied at the, like... the corner where our 2 roads of the enemy over here at CSA spawn, and then we all charged down immediately to cap point, and we nearly held on to it for the entire match until I got it like right at the last few seconds and ended up recapping it. And I was like, man, imagine if we won that immediately. That would have been a very strong defense. But it is the right idea to do it, because immediately when they recap point, they were already in breaking, and so were we. So it's like, well, now there's like 38 minutes left on the clock. What do we do now? Simple. Just shoot it out. Just shoot it out. Put them in last stand, and then charge them. Easy win.
So Union tried reorganizing a little push-up. I mean, Union's just trickling forward on CSA, who has a full line right now. And CSA is just shooting them up as they go, and this is not going to work for Union. And you can even tell it's not working just with the tickets alone. I mean, Union's dropped almost... I mean, they've dropped more than a half morale stage when CSA's dropped barely anything. So Union's just got to spend a couple minutes, or like a minute or so, group up, and then go in. That's your best shot, not just slow trickle in.
Yeah.
Because if anything, you're going to hit final push.
Yeah, I think the big major issue on the Union side right now, it's definitely communication, because I think they're just sending in an attack without coordinating it with the other officers. It's like, if you're going to retake point, you gotta all 4 coordinate together and retake it as one. It's like, if you just send one company in itself just to try and retake it, that is not going to work. You're gonna get melted down, because it looks like the entire, well, maybe not the entire CSA team, but the majority of the team, with minus Ryder being out on the left, but he's actually throwing in supporting fire on point. It's more like Union, you're gonna have to charge as a whole to retake point, because trickling in one by one is not gonna get you the point back, especially when it's like the majority of the CSA team is there.
How am I out of line next to fucking 8 gates?
So Unions, I mean, they're getting a lot more grouped up and slowly starting to inch forward.
All these fuckers on the right.
I'd say Union starts pushing up on their left flank, which it looks like they're doing right now. I would definitely start pushing more bodies up forward to at least get more engaged fire across, and then you could send one Union company up the right side of the stone wall and then try to charge them out and dwindle those CSA's numbers. But then again, it looks like Union's got enough bodies on point that they are, in fact, recapping it at the minute, but if I'm CSA and they're doing that, it's like get a countercharge in there to retake it, which it looks like they are right now, which Baron looks like he's trying to lead his company forward to diminish the Union's left flank side, which it looks like CSA is already scaring them back, so more likely that was the right call by Baron to do that right there.
Yeah,
Definitely the right call to do that.
They're getting the point back, and even if they lose the charge, they lose a lot of tickets, which means Union can't regain as much.
Yeah, it's like, even if, like, Union recaps it, but CSA isn't breaking, it's like, okay, you go back to breaking, so it's like, anytime you cap the point, you win, or if they go in last stand, and you diminish their numbers to, like, 4 people left or something like that. But yeah, I like the aggression that CSA is doing right now.
Union flags have not been very great as well this round. They've been running a little too far forward, consistently and getting shot down, and just the awareness has not always been there, but...
Yeah, it's that and the fact that Union soldiers have not been picking up the flags. Like, flags are crucial. You gotta pick them up, otherwise nobody can spawn on it. But then again, it is Pry House. It's a very short spawn from spawn to point, so it's like flags almost mean nothing really on this map for Union, considering it's like a very short run from spawn to point. But it's like if you're CSA, it's the other way around. It's like, it's sure enough it looks short for the CSA, but it's a lot longer of a run for you as CSA than it is for you as Union. So, but then again, you always want to keep your flags up because flags are crucial.
Yeah, I think it depends on the situation. Like, I think it's still nice to have the flags to spawn people in on CSA, but obviously if it's a really long spawn, you want to just spawn back at main at that point. But obviously that depends on the map. CSA is pushing way past the point now. They're just trying to keep Union off of it entirely. Also staying on top of their down flags, which, as you mentioned, they don't have that much of an impact for Union. But
I don't know if you've even seen it. I don't know if you've even seen this as well, but if you look directly behind the point, you see those CSA flags directly behind the point towards their spawn. They've rolled a cannon up because of how aggressive the CSA side is. So now they're just going to shoot arty shells into their spawn almost, or directly onto them. But it's more like the Union has just played so passively that now they're just almost pretty much getting spawn killed at this point because they didn't put up the aggression to retake the point to hold a strong defense. It's more like they just invited them in to just take point and then basically shoot them down.
I mean, that's all you can do as Union on this map. You can't aggressively hold the point because you're going to lose a lot of tickets and then you'll lose that way. So you have to sit back in these nice defensive defilated positions, and that just leaves the point wide open for CSA to take. This map is really, really good for CSA. It's a hard win for Union. Still possible, but very difficult. Union is about to hit final push. The gold timer might drop.
I don't think the gold timer actually drops.
It does drop.
Oh, it does?
It does,
okay.
but it's very, very rare because normally the gold timer will be so low that you don't see it drop. But
maybe it does drop if it's like at 8 minutes or something, but considering it's at like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, I don't think it probably will. But
the final push timer where the clock drops is based on the amount of time it takes to get from your main spawn to the point of contention 2 times without your bayonets and reloads, which is a short map. But I guess
it didn't really drop.
Yeah, it didn't drop there. Maybe if it was a little higher, but...
Right, Union's putting a mass charge on the right flank. It's probably about time they did something. So.
The only way Union wins at this point is by getting the CSA into last stand. Because if they retake the point now, each side's going to be in breaking, and CSA is going to be able to easily win, either by shooting them down or just charging and winning. Union has to try to get CSA into the last stand, which there's not enough time. You can't do that in a minute 45.
Yeah, they diminished most of the CSA's left flank, but they didn't even diminish at all. So it's like, you still have like you still have CSA's right flank, which is fully intact, and they're just deliberately shooting right into their spawn. So it's like anybody that's coming right up is just going to get shot instantly almost. So it's like Union's more than likely lost this match straight up just by sitting back and just letting them cap point, which is a big mistake.
Yeah, it's a rough map for Union, but what can you do? It doesn't help when Union wasn't really, you know, communicating a whole lot, going in sporadically. I mean, at this point, Union's just going to be trickling forward, just spawn and go, bayonets and go. That's all they
Your
can
only
do.
hope, is like getting right through them to cap point. Which your only way that you could do that right now is if you destroy their left side and force all your bodies all the way to point 3 cap it. But I don't know if I see that happening. But I might speak too soon. But I don't think I probably will because I think CSA has this in the bag. But
Yeah.
credit to CSA for actually listening to how I said they should do it. It's get aggressive and early cap the point and just shoot them the hell out. And that's obviously what they started to do. As time trickled down, like a few minutes in, then they started doing what I said that they should do. So that was very good on them.
But you got any more thoughts on this round? As it looks like CSA is going to get a win here in this counterattack.
I think the only way you can win this map as the Union is if you set up a good perimeter defense to where you're shooting like CSA out to wherever you're shooting them from, it's more like any kind of attack they say you, it's gonna get diminished like almost immediately. So it's like you gotta set up a perimeter defense that's almost like unbreakable, or it's like if they how do I say this? If they end up breaking like one side of your defense, it's more like that other side of the defense that's not broken ends up collapsing on them and wipes them completely. That's pretty much your only way to win this map as Union, is by setting up a very good and strong perimeter defense for a shootout. That's pretty much your only way to win it as Union.
Yeah.
And pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
No, go ahead.
Union's got to win by either CSA just playing completely conservative the whole time, somehow getting a ticket lead after CSA caps and then retaking and then pushing CSA out, maybe getting a huge ticket lead there, or when CSA caps trying to push them down into last stand. But with that being said, good job CSA. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to support the channel more. We have a Patreon. We're going to get a live stream. Actually, it's YouTube members. Hit the join button below. If you do that, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do and so much more. A lot of other stuff in the description. We'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.